Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to dive into Saudi Arabia's changing position on Gaza, a topic that is drawing global attention and sparking debates across the region. For decades, Saudi Arabia has been viewed as a firm supporter of the Palestinian cause, consistently emphasizing its role as a defender of Muslim interests. But in recent times, we have seen subtle, yet important changes in the way Riyadh is approaching the crisis in Gaza. And these shifts reflect larger transformations within the kingdom's political, economic, and diplomatic strategy. Just as with any major power adjusting to a new reality, Saudi Arabia's posture is evolving in ways that deserve a closer look. From the outside, Saudi Arabia still presents itself as a powerful and steady actor in the Middle East, one that carries enormous influence across the Arab and Islamic world. Its exterior image is still tied to its religious responsibility as the custodian of Islam's holiest sites, and as a nation that champions humanitarian issues. However, the exterior has started to look more polished and calculated. Rather than issuing bold statements or taking extreme positions, Riyadh is carefully crafting its image as a state that values stability, economic growth, and long-term partnerships. This exterior shift is visible in the kingdom's emphasis on international diplomacy, its willingness to engage with Western allies, and even its cautious openness toward potential normalization with Israel, which only a few years ago would have been unimaginable. Inside, the decision-making process is becoming increasingly pragmatic and streamlined. The interior of Saudi Arabia's Gaza policy is simple but effective. Prioritize national interests while maintaining symbolic and humanitarian support for Palestinians. The leadership is focused on protecting its Vision 2030 reform agenda, which seeks to diversify the economy beyond oil, attract foreign investments, and modernize society. For that to succeed, Riyadh cannot afford to be pulled into long and costly conflicts. The interior may not appear dramatic, but it is designed with efficiency and strategic clarity in mind. In terms of performance, Saudi Arabia is demonstrating remarkable flexibility. On one hand, it provides humanitarian aid to Gaza and uses its voice in international forums to call for a ceasefire and an end to civilian suffering. On the other hand, it carefully avoids measures that would place it in direct confrontation with Israel or jeopardize its partnership with the United States. This performance highlights the kingdom's ability to navigate a narrow path, balancing compassion with caution and influence with restraint. The speed and precision of these adjustments show that Saudi Arabia is not locked into old positions, but is adapting to the fast-changing political terrain of the Middle East. Safety measures are a core part of this new approach. Saudi Arabia is working hard to avoid escalation that could destabilize the region or undermine its own security. Just as a vehicle is equipped with safety features to protect passengers from collisions, Riyadh is relying on diplomacy, dialogue, and strong international ties to shield itself from fallout. The leadership understands that direct confrontation could harm its security and damage its global image, so it prefers to use international platforms, partnerships with the US and Europe, and cautious engagement with regional rivals to maintain safety and control. The unique selling points of Saudi Arabia's current strategy are clear. Unlike some regional actors who prefer rigid confrontational stances, Riyadh is carving out a role as a mediator, a stabilizer, and a builder of bridges. It has the financial means to deliver aid, the diplomatic influence to shape peace initiatives, and the credibility as a leading Arab state to keep the Palestinian issue alive without derailing its broader goals. This ability to position itself as both a supporter of Palestinians and a forward-looking modern state makes Saudi Arabia's stance distinctive and influential at a time when many regional colonial players are struggling to balance conflicting pressures. When we consider the price of this shift, it becomes evident that Saudi Arabia is paying in political capital rather than in money. There is always a risk that altering its position on Gaza will be met with criticism from parts of the Arab and Muslim world, where expectations of unwavering support for Palestinians remain high. However, Riyadh calculates that the price is outweighed by the benefits it stands to gain: stronger ties with Western allies, a safer environment for its Vision 2030 ambitions, and a central role in shaping the future of regional politics. In the long run, the cost of staying rigid may be higher than the price of adapting. In conclusion, Saudi Arabia's changing position on Gaza can be seen as part of a broader transformation in the kingdom's identity and strategy. It continues to emphasize its solidarity with Palestinians, but it does so while prioritizing national interests, economic reforms, and regional stability. This is not about abandoning old commitments, but about recalibrating them to fit a new reality. Riyadh's evolution shows that it is determined to drive forward on a path that blends tradition with modernization, compassion with pragmatism, and regional responsibility with global partnerships. The road ahead will not be easy, but the kingdom appears ready to steer through challenges with confidence and careful calculation.